What's up, guys? This is Chris with T3 Medias, and this is a special show that we're trying to do today that we are actually going to go into the minds, the movie minds of my friends here on the panel. I want to introduce my boys. We finally did it. This is episode 1. Let's introduce these guys. We got Al. How you doing?
I am doing good, man. I'm happy, excited to be here, you guys. This should be fun. Looking forward to everybody and what they have to share. And I always tell you have another panelist on there. I forgot that guy's name. I guess you'll mention it. But I always tell him that everything I say is always correct. I just want to kind of get that out there. I'm always right. So that's it.
And without further ado, let me introduce this guy that Al's talking about. I understand where he's coming from. I mean, come on. We all know him. This guy knows more than a little bit. This is Anthony from Silver Screen Analyst. What's going on, my man? My brother from another mother.
What's happening, guys? I'm glad to be here. I'm excited for this first episode. I think we got a great topic, and I'm ready to dive into it.
And last but not least, Michael Chu.
How's it going? Everything's good. I'm ready to debate about some good movies that I find good, but we'll see.
And if you don't know, this is bad superhero movies that are actually fun. And we're going to just go around the board and just going to talk about what we consider bad superhero movies that we personally enjoy. Now, you might not find these movies good. You might find these movies awesome. You might find them terrible, whatever your personal preferences are. But we're going to break that down in just a little bit. So I guess without further ado, let's start off with the person who lost the coin toss. And we're going to start with Anthony. What's on your list? Let's get into this.
All right, the first movie on my list is definitely a flawed movie. It's got some issues. It's also got some redeeming qualities. That's Batman Forever from 1995. Val Kilmer wasn't the best Batman. He definitely did have some good moments. The film is absurd. It's way over the top, but I really like the eccentric settings. They kind of reminded me of Dick Tracy. They were just kind of wild and over the top, very colorful and vivid. I really enjoyed Jim Carrey as the Riddler. He had some great moments. He was, I think, the best part of this movie. And I really think Tommy Lee Jones as eccentric and just way out of bounds and way over the top. He was just completely crazy in this movie. But he had some redeeming qualities as Two-Face. And it's not a great movie, but it's definitely one that has some fun moments.
Al, what do you think about that movie?
I mean, Batman Forever wasn't too bad. It was, I don't know, it was a little bit too cartoonish for me, honestly. I had a hard time with that, and I will say I'm a little bit jaded from a lot of the Dark Knight series, but it wasn't horrible. It's definitely a save your money film. I wouldn't even actually rent it. I'd wait for it to come out on TV. Are they even putting that on TV anymore?
I don't think so. But Michael, what do you think about Batman Forever?
I mean, I remember from a young age really, really enjoying this movie, but like going back and watching it now, not the best film. But I do have to agree with Anthony in saying that Jim Carrey is most definitely the best part of that movie. He is amazing as the Riddler.
He was the best part of waking up like Folgers in your cup. I think that movie, it tricked you. When you were a little kid, you first saw it, it was great. But then when you had everything else to compare it to when you got a little bit older, you were like, okay, what was James going through? What was all the screaming? What was all the yelling and overacting? And it worked at the time, but in comparison to the other two, yeah, you're right. I can understand why you definitely put this one on the list. It just, oh my God, it was fun, but until it wasn't. So we got that one out. Okay, so what's number 5 on your list, Al? What do you got for us?
I got X-Men Origins Wolverine, which I thought was actually pretty good. Even today, I still think it's pretty good. I think it doesn't get a fair shake, but I liked it because I liked how it told the origin story of kind of his background, and we got all the information about how he got the antimanium into his system and kind of the group that he was working with. I actually like Ryan Reynolds in this as Deadpool. I know I'm in trouble now because people are mad because I said that. But and I just thought it was interesting. I thought it was fun to kind of track his story. And I just think that anytime I see Hugh Jackman on screen as Wolverine, I think it's noteworthy. I just always think he does such a good job. So I definitely like this movie a lot more than most people did. I mean, I thought it was fun, and I thought it was interesting just to kind of watch his story unfold. So,
exactly, Michael, what you think?
I would say that it is a really fun movie. I mean, Liev Schreiber as Sabretooth, awesome, super awesome performance. And like you said, every time Hugh Jackman plays Wolverine is another opportunity to just bask in his glory. He's an awesome actor. So I mean, it's a fun movie. Would I go back and watch it willingly? Probably not. But if it's on TV, I may watch a couple minutes of it because there are some good scenes in there.
Exactly. I think you're right about that. It's funny how you're wondering whether to root for Ray Donovan on that movie or for Hugh Jackman. I mean, that was to me, that was the best thing about that movie was I didn't like the whole their brothers kind of a dynamic, but then when I watched their chemistry, I loved his performance as Sabretooth. But no, Al, you're wrong. I agree that Deadpool was the best thing on that for that movie when he was really Deadpool. When he became that thing at the end, that's when it all just went for me. But that's just my 2 cents. What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Michael. I don't think I go back and race to watch that movie, but I think that the first that movie was, I really enjoyed that. I thought it was excellent. That whole chronological timeline of all the wars. I enjoyed that. I also agreed. Liev Schreiber was great as Sabretooth. I really thought, and Gambit was fun in that movie too. But at the end, the big fight up on the top, it was, it's forgettable. But yeah, it definitely has some redeeming qualities.
Exactly.
I mean, I do agree with that. I do think that you bring up a good point. I do think the end scene was a little bit ridiculous. And then there are actually a lot of parts of that movie that are a little bit ridiculous. But it was cool to kind of see him interact with even some of the other iconic characters that they're small characters in the X-Men universe. But to kind of see them on screen and kind of have them all interact together. And I actually wish that we had seen more of Gambit in that movie than we did. So,
yeah, agreed. All right, Michael, what's your number 5 on this panel?
My number 5 is going to be The Losers. I don't think a lot of people have seen this movie, but if you have, it is a hell of a good time. It's an action film based off a comic book. It's got Idris Elba in there, Chris Evans. I mean, this is all before the Marvel Cinematic Universe got all set up, so this is a good chance to see them playing something totally different. Chris Evans has an amazing performance. This movie is kind of like a nerdy tech guy, hilarious. I think more people should check this out because it's really a fun movie. I wouldn't even call it that bad, but reviews on Rotten Tomatoes disagree with me greatly. So, what do you guys think?
Definitely, The Losers to me was a special movie because it's one of those films where you couldn't afford that cast today. It was you got Captain America on there for alone. That's what, $1 billion budget right there. But back then when the movie first came out, I mean, I thought it was a decent movie. I thought it was. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I would have put that on this list, but when you said it, I thought, yeah, I can see why it didn't get a sequel. So there you go. You got something right there. What about you, Anthony? What you think about The Losers?
I haven't seen this in a few years, but I really enjoyed it. I thought the cast was great. I thought they had some great dialogue between each other. That's what I remember. I remember there being a good banter amongst the group, and I thought the action was fun. It was a fun movie, yeah, and it was surprised that it got such bad ratings. But even if it did have a sequel, the price of getting all those people back would be hard. It's like you said, stars before they were stars. They couldn't afford it now, but I think it's a good movie.
Exactly. What about? What do you think about Losers?
I have not seen it, man. I haven't seen it. I know.
Check it out, man. You're going to enjoy it, I think.
I know. Wait, pen, writing it down.
I have Superman for the Quest for Peace. So you got Christopher Reeves, and you got Mark Pillow. I just learned that name for the first time today as Nuclear Man. So and Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. Despite the fact that me and Sean recently got into an argument that Gene Hackman was the best Lex Luthor, I disagree because I feel that Smallville's Lex Luthor, what was his name? Michael Rosenbaum, I feel was the best Lex Luthor we've ever had, but this was a different Lex Luthor. But that's not the reason why I put it on the list. I feel like the Quest for Peace was just a piece of crap that just didn't make any sense to me as far as the villains. And then when I saw the deleted scenes, we got into the fact that Bizarro was supposed to be in this movie. They even recorded a fight between Superman and Bizarro that just didn't have anything to do with it kind of did have something to do with the plot. It was the first attempt by Lex Luthor to clone Superman, and then he went with Nuclear Man. And check it out; it's on YouTube if you haven't seen it. It's a horrible scene. So that's my pick. What do you think, Anthony? What do you think about the Quest for Peace? I heard it was your favorite movie.
Yeah, this is the spandex movie. I remember Nuclear Man. I remember that blown out hair.
Oh yeah.
I'd have to go back and check these deleted scenes to see if I put that one on my list. I think it's definitely the weakest of the four. I actually liked the third one with Richard Pryor. I think that one had some moments to it, but and this was the one that had Dark Superman in it, right?
Right.
He kind of went rogue and then
no, that was the one with Richard Pryor.
Oh, that was okay. Yeah, so yeah, nothing for this one, man.
I love that. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next movies. Let's see, who's up after Al. What's next on your list? What do you got for us?
Okay, and that was good.
I got nothing for this.
I had Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Honestly, you guys, I really just like this movie because I'm a big fan of the Silver Surfer. I've got like a stack of Silver Surfer comic books, so to see him on the big screen was interesting to me. And I thought the storyline was okay enough, but I'm digging here because I really don't have much more to say. But I just like the fact that the Silver Surfer was on the screen. I was hoping we were going to see Galacticus, but we didn't really see him. But it was cool to see. That was Chris Evans that was playing Human Torch, right?
Right.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So that was cool to see him kind of at an earlier time in his career too. It was god awful, honestly. It really was. But again, for me to see the Silver Surfer on the big screen was enough for me to go and watch this movie. And it was god awful. That's all I got.
Right, Michael.
Yeah, I agree with him. At every point, it is a god awful film. I remember watching this movie at a young age in a movie theater with my mom, and I think this is one of the first movies I walked out of that I didn't like in my life. Seriously, that bad.
Oh wow! At a young age. So what? What was? No, I'm just joking. I'm not gonna tease you about that. Like I'm 2 years old. I'm getting out of here, mom. No. But I agree, man. I think the thing that really tricked me into thinking that was a great movie or better than the first one. You know what? I was at a time in my life where I wasn't really judging them that hard. Like I said a couple times on my channel that before the Avengers and before the Dark Knight, the bar was still kind of low. And then until those movies came out, we started demanding more, in my opinion. So that was still in the before time. So when you saw the Silver Surfer go through that bus, I mean, I think we all looked at that, and just like Chris Evans said, I was like, oh man, that was cool. Or when he went through the building, I mean, because those effects were kind of badass at the time. But then when you looked at the plot and had something to compare it to, you were like, I don't know. I don't think I'm ready for this anymore. But I'll go through everybody. Anthony, did you get your points in about the movie?
I actually got this one on my list, so I'll save my commentary for that one.
Right on. Okay, so you're up though. So what's next on your list? Are you gonna? Was this the next one on your list?
Yeah, I might as well just get it out of the way. Yeah, Silver Surfer.
Works.
Like I'm just like Al. He's one of my favorite characters growing up. I had a lot of Silver Surfer comic books, and just to see him on the screen, I thought he was the best part of the movie. The story definitely has some pacing issues. It definitely has some dialogue flaws. But I think Chris Evans was a great Torch. I think Michael Chiklis as the Thing was fun. Just, like you guys said, seeing the Silver Surfer on the screen for the first time, I thought they did a great job with him with the effects. I think it's a solid movie for that aspect, for that specific character. And arguably, it's the best Fantastic Four film we've had so far.
I can't argue with that at all. The cool thing about having the same movie on the list is that we get to talk about it again. So, Al, anything else you want to add or try to defend on why this was so much fun for you?
Well, I will say I hated Michael Chiklis as the Thing. I just because I don't think he's a very good actor in much that he does. Some of his TV work has been okay, but I just couldn't buy him as the Thing. I actually disagree though with Anthony. I like the first Fantastic Four better than I did Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Ooh, shots fired.
But I do agree that there were some pacing problems, and then there were some of the story dynamic was a bit strange to me as well in terms of how they dealt with the Silver Surfer, how the Fantastic Four dealt with the Silver Surfer, and just some of the ways that they were able to kind of, I guess, engage him and deal with him effectively just seemed kind of underpowered. I mean, you're talking about the Silver Surfer, and there's some weird machine that sends out a charge, knocks him off his board, and this is the Silver Surfer. So I was a little bit upset about that, but yeah.
Michael, why are they both wrong?
Still standing by my point of that this is like one of the first bad movies that I've ever watched. I still stand by that. It's a horrible movie. I'm sorry.
Still walking out.
Yeah, still walking out at a young age. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I guess to elaborate a little bit more on Al's point, it was the fact that Galactus wasn't even Galactus. This poopy cloud, I guess, is what it was that we were arguing with. You're sitting there. You got Doctor Doom, or no, not Doctor Doom. You got Silver Surfer pleading to a mystical cloud that also made another appearance in the Green Lantern movie. That mystical cloud, or fart cloud, is what they I think John Schnepp calls it on Collider, or that poopy cloud. But that was the thing, I guess, for me that was the one that killed it, because I was hearing that Galactus was going to be in this one. I thought that they were keeping it a secret. That's why they didn't show him in the trailers. And then when you saw the movie, you're like, oh, that's why they didn't show him in the trailers. He's not even in this damn movie. That's what's going on. Okay. So it made sense.
X-Men: The Last Stand. I know a lot of people really trash on this movie, say it's the worst X-Men movie and whatnot. There are parts of it that I could say are pretty irredeemable, but I like where they went with the Phoenix Saga. Hugh Jackman definitely shows like his range of this movie, because you never see like this much emotion in the Wolverine character until X-Men 3, especially when he has to finally do the deed and wipe out Jean and whatnot. And it has some really cool action in this movie. A lot of this huge battle at the end, totally awesome, and no one can beat that Golden Gate Bridge scene with Magneto, I swear. Exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to just elaborate on how bad that movie was. Let's just start off. I got to start this one off, and it was so bad, and the only reason why was that last fight at the end was despite other thing. But this is the only part I'm going to keep on that topic. The whole Magneto was a champion for mutant rights. He was the Malcolm X, I guess, of the X-Men world. And at that last fight, when the mutants were going to go out there and fight against the police, the army, or whatever it was, and he just sent them out there just to get slaughtered. And he's like, "Oh, let's just let the pawns go for it." I'm like, that's not something Magneto would say. That's not something Magneto would do. He would do everything in his power to protect, as many people as he could. But he treated them like dicks, like he was a dick. I mean, like he was like, "Oh no, let the pawns go. Those guys don't have cool powers, so let them get shot up first, and then us." With the cooler powers, we'll just sprinkle some magic on everything and just we'll win the day. I just felt like that was the part that I said I'm out. So I don't know. What do you think, Anthony? What do you think about that? The Last Stand. Can you stand it?
Yeah, it definitely. I'll agree with Michael. It had some moments. I like some of the action, and it really tiptoed between dramatic and melodramatic at times. Luckily, Hugh Jackman saved that. I think anybody else just trying to do some of the dialogue that he had to do would just come across as just extremely overacted.
Definitely.
I liked it for seeing the Hugh Jackman and emotional character, throwing some more emotions into the Wolverine character, because it was really the first time that we got to see that. So for that aspect, it was fun. The story had some issues, and it's my least favorite of that first trilogy.
Oh yeah. What about you, Al? What do you think?
I agree with Michael. I actually think that the scene with Magneto at the end was very cool. That fight scene, and I do think it was interesting to see that relationship between kind of Jean and Wolverine and what he has to do at the end. I was a little choked up about that, man, But I did agree. I do agree that the action on it was pretty good. The big problem I had with that is I felt like they tried to have too much going on in that story. There were too many things going on there. But I always think it's cool, like, I think stuff like that depends on how well it's written. But for me, it's always cool to see. I want to see as many mutants or superheroes on the screen as I can. The only caveat is I still have to have a good story when I see something like that. And I feel like that's what we didn't get. But I don't think it's the worst. I actually think the X-Men First Class is the worst.
Whoa! Oh my God!
All right, we're gonna. I gotta take a smoke break, and we're gonna. That was a priceless reaction from Michael right there.
Because no joke, X-Men First Class is like in my top 3 favorite superhero movies of all time.
Really?
So here,
I love that movie as well.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So hearing Al say that he thinks it's bad, it was like you pretty much
Shot to the heart, man. Oh my God. Oh. Yeah, seriously.
That we are no longer friends.
Oh man, and I know I'm in the minority with that, because a lot of people did like that movie, but I Oh, I didn't. I mean, I liked Fassbender and what's the other guys?
James
What's
McAvoy.
Yeah, I like them. I thought that their performances were good, but everybody else, it almost seemed like their characters were current in terms of what we've seen in superhero movies at the time, and everybody else was pulled from like a 1992 movie, and just like, here you go, and that's just how they felt. And I was mad, man. I was mad. What happened to Darwin in that movie? I just.
I can to speak a little bit on that point. I can agree that for now we're off topic, but because I know this wasn't officially on the list, though, right? First Class, but to me, I thought it was a cool thing that recasting for a certain character and getting it right, and in comparison to who played it first. Doing that one time and recasting it perfectly is a miracle on its own. But they did it twice. Who played Professor X and who played Magneto in the older X-Men movies. They cast them perfectly, and then I felt like they cast them perfectly again, and that was some magic. I felt like I don't think it'll ever be duplicated again. It was hard to do it even one time, but they did it twice, and they all got to act in the same movie. So I thought that was awesome. So wow, that we got off on that one. So what's
let's do Hancock. So, and I actually,
oh my god, no, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
I actually really liked Hancock. I think that Hancock gets a really unfair shake. I thought it was smart. I thought it was original. I thought the interaction between Charlize and Will was good, and just the whole way that narrative was crafted was definitely out of the norm in terms of what you normally see for superheroes. And he was a very humanized superhero, if you will, but he wasn't like a Batman that didn't have superpowers. I mean, he actually did have superpowers, but he still had real life struggles. And I thought that the way that they told that story was really interesting. And even the way that they developed the relationship between he and Charlize in terms of how they interacted, and if they were going to be together, then their powers would diminish. I thought it was just really smart. I thought it was funny. So I really enjoyed Hancock. I mean, like I said, today, I still think that it is probably it's funny, Michael, it's probably one of my top 3 superheroes, even,
really? Wow.
Today. So
but you still consider it one of your bad superhero movie that you find fun?
I think it was, oh man, you threw me under the bus. I guess I said all that stuff about it being so good. I think it was bad in the sense that when I put this on my list, I actually put it on my list of being bad in the sense that most people didn't like it. So I guess maybe that's a little bit of a different look at it. And I don't really understand why. I thought it was really a good movie. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, big time. Yeah, because you're a fan of people. Oh, we got some feedback here. Is that all right? There we go. But no, you're a man of the people, so I can understand what you mean by that. So I'm sorry. Let me throw myself under the bus real quick for The Last Stand. I'd only mentioned everything I hate about it. The thing I found fun was Beast. What else did I find fun? Beast. So all right, let's move on to Hancock. What do you think, Anthony? We just got through talking about this before we even started recording.
Yeah, I thought Hancock was a good time. I was kind of surprised that it got some of the bad press and bad reviews that it did. It got kind of mixed reviews amongst the people I know. Some people were hit and miss on it. I thought Will Smith was fun in it. I liked his chemistry. I thought with Charlize Theron, I thought she was fun. It had a nice blend of action and comedy. I thought Jason Bateman was actually some good comic relief to this movie. I've always been a fan of his, so to see some of him in there, and I thought all the cast together had a good chemistry. So yeah, I was kind of surprised. It does kind of go the normal route in the third act, but I think for 2/3 of it, it's a nice fresh take on a comic book movie.
Exactly, Mike.
I also agree with Anthony and Al. I like the first probably 2/3 of that movie very, very much. It's an interesting take on a superhero. Where it loses for me is the end of the movie, but I don't think it takes away enough of it for me to say it's a bad movie. I definitely would say it's a pretty enjoyable, pretty fun, good movie.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Everybody on that one. I've had fun with that movie, so I'll start with the fun part. The thing that I loved is the way they marketed it. You got a superhero that's drunk off his ass. It's he doesn't want to do it, but for some reason he does it, and he doesn't even know why. And the whole twist on his memory and things like that. Was a very it was a good story to tell. Charlize Theron, I think, did a great job. I think Jason Bateman. I feel like Jason Bateman alone just to see what that was going to go with that love triangle. I felt like it deserved a sequel alone on that. If I could lose that superhero costume that he got at the end, I think that would be okay with that. But hey, we never know. Maybe if there was a sequel, maybe they were going to go with the whole I'm going to fully embrace the whole superhero thing, which it looked like that's the way it was going. Spoiler alert. I know it's too late now. So yeah, it was a fun movie, but at the same time, the way Al said, I can see why it was received the way it was received. What was the Rotten Tomato on that one?
I wrote it down. No, I didn't write it down. I don't know, but I think I did look at it the other day, and I want to say the Rotten Tomato it may have been around 50.
Around 50, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Tank Girl starring Lori Petty. I love her name. And I love her, what she did on Orange is the New Black. She's one of them, and Gotham. I love her as an actress. And Naomi Watts. I didn't realize that until after I went back and I looked. I'm like, oh crap, she was in that film. Back then when nobody cared. But today it's like, oh, that was pretty decent little cast there. And Ice-T. You can't forget about the Oscar performance by Ice-T in that movie. So that's the things I loved about it. The things I didn't like about it, okay, it was very campy, very cheesy, but it was trying to be exactly like the comic book. I just feel like this movie came out too soon. If this movie were to come out today and I don't know, Chloe Moritz, I guess somebody cool to be cast as Tank Girl, I think this movie would be awesome. For when it came out in the 90s, it was to me very good, but I could see why it didn't like blow up into franchise mode. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So, who has seen Tank Girl? Let's start off with that. Al, have you seen this movie?
I saw it, but honestly, I do not remember enough about it to really kind of talk about it. So I remember it being a bit unremarkable, but yeah. So.
What about you, Anthony? Did you see Tank? I feel like I picked the one that everybody didn't see.
Yeah, I actually saw Tank Girl. It's been many years. I remember, like you said, Ice-T was great in that movie. He was a nice side character in there, and he actually had more of a bulk of screen time in that one. It did kind of feel like a punk-inspired Mad Max kind of ripoff, but I think, like you said, it came out a little early. Had a bigger budget. The costumes and the wardrobes were all kind of dated. The dialogue could have been a little bit better, but I think it's definitely got that. I think it was like early 90s kind of nostalgia to it. So it has some redeeming values for that. But yeah, it's
it was very 90s, like extreme kind of like mentality. Yeah. What about you, Michael? How many times have you seen Tank Girl? Are you watching it right now?
I have seen it 0 times. I intend on keeping it that way with the title like that. I'm sorry.
No, actually, I'm telling you. Okay, the movie is very fun. That's why I put it on the list. It is a very
maybe I'll check it out because I don't know. Naomi Watts is good. I like Ice-T a fair bit, so maybe I'll check it out one day.
The Oscar-winning performance by Ice-T, by the way. So, what are you saying now?
Said way back in the day. Ready for this one because I think as soon as I say it, I'm gonna have to get my defenses up. So I'm gonna go with Suicide Squad from last year. Okay. Definitely a flawed story. Definitely not a great movie, but I thought it had some fun characters in it. Viola Davis was just about as ruthless as they can get. She's one of the best comic book villains in recent memory to me, without even having to do so much. She was just cutthroat in that movie. Will Smith was fun in that movie. Jai Courtney was fun in that movie, and it's you don't even have to pay attention to it. You can just kind of watch it. It's got one different cool song after the other. It's almost like just a chop shop of movies, and it's bad, but it's bad and it's in a good way. It's just something fun to just turn on, listen to the dialogue, and I actually enjoyed it pretty much more than everybody I know, and I'll take the heat on it again.
Anthony, I think Michael needs to turn the heat up on you. Let's do this. Come on, Michael. What do you got to say to him?
Anthony, you're a really nice guy, but I mean, come on, man. I don't know, man. This movie to me is like the exact opposite of what you just said. In my mind, it is like the most unfun, dumb, like collage of a bunch of people's ideas thrown together. And I like all the actors. I like all the actors in this movie. I love all the songs in this movie. Mm-hmm. It became a mess, and like the way the story ended up going, character decisions and stuff, it just, man, really lost for me. But Hey man, to each his own.
I don't know what it is. Something about the overall package it's fun. It's just I don't think I had high expectations for it though. I wasn't expecting much.
See, maybe that's why I got so let down, because I did have high expectations for it.
I don't even think DC had high expectations. When you got to that point where the sorceress who's first scene in that movie with the whole hand thing was awesome. You didn't think that by the end of the movie she'd be like, "Ooh, let's work on a way to kick me off of this sequel." That's what that dance kind of looked like. But yeah, hopefully without spoiling anything, the way it ended and the whole Jay Leto thing about the Joker, not whether or not he was good or bad as the Joker, but I just felt like he should have been the main villain. I don't think that all that sorceress stuff was necessary, but I guess in hindsight, and I heard recently that the director of the film admitted that, like, he looked back at his work, and I remember hearing that he just straight up did what no director really ever does. He took it and he took the criticism and he went, "You're right. I should have. Looking back now, that's the direction I should have went." And if I'm wrong about that, I'll look it up. But I think he did, admit that to his Twitter followers. So yeah, I agree. It was a fun. It was the talk about the fun. Like you said, it was the music. It was the I guess it won a damn Oscar. Okay, it was beautiful, okay, right? So that was fun. And but the reasons that that was bad, I guess, is the plot and the way the story went. But I own it, so I'm sticking by it. What about you, Al? What do you think?
It was pretty bad. Yeah, I agree with that. It was pretty awful. But there are some things about Suicide Squad that I think are a little bit redeemable. And I think part of the reason why it was so bad for me is I really had high expectations from the trailers. I was like, wow, this is pretty good. Mm-hmm. But then when we got into it, there was a whole bunch going on. We had characters that seemed to have no purpose. Like, what it was a Slipknot? Why was he in that movie?
Unnecessary.
Yeah,
unnecessary.
I think I'll try to answer it. I think just like remember the cartoon movie that DC put out. I think they needed a guy to show the world that Amanda Waller was serious, and I think that because you're talking, Slipknot was the guy who spoiler alert, guys. So just like that reminded me of that cartoon film where almost the exact same thing happened. Where it was like, oh, you know what, lady, I'm not afraid of you. I'm walking out that door in the second, and then boom, that's what happens. So I think that's what it was all about.
So maybe that's what happens there. And I thank you for explaining that, because I'm thinking, what happened? But I do think that there were some parts of that were really good. I forget what's the character's name. The guy that played Diablo. What's his name? Anybody know his real name?
Jay Hernandez.
Yeah, I thought
Jay Hernandez.
I thought that his character was pretty good. And actually, in terms of villains, I didn't think. I actually like Jared Leto as a Joker. I know some people had some issues with him, and I feel like he was unfairly compared to. No, I can't remember his name. Heath Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
But I think either they could have fleshed him out really as more of a proper villain, or they really could have fleshed the Enchantress out more. Because if you look at her, what she can do in the comic books, this movie severely underpowered her. If they had really kind of let her powers go in this movie, it would have been much more interesting. Because at the end of the day, this movie just seemed kind of like a street shoot 'em up to me. And it was really just, it was disappointing from that aspect. But I do think that visually it was nice. We got that in common, I think, Anthony. But at the end of the day, if I could have gotten my money back, I would have. So
yeah. Hey, well, let's say anytime I'm getting ready to vacuum the house, I put on Suicide Squad.
Yeah, well, you know what? I agree. The movie is rewatchable, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to just pop it on. So if that makes sense.
I'm ready to take a lot of heat for this, because I feel like I am like the only person on the planet that likes this movie. Spider-Man 3. No, not Daredevil. Spider-Man 3. You know what? I didn't hate Venom in this movie. In fact, the only thing I don't like about this movie is Sandman. But everything else, even emo dancing Peter, does not get on my nerves to the point where I could say this is a bad movie. I find it extremely fun. It's not the best out of the three by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a totally enjoyable movie. I kind of like where they went with Venom. Topher Grace was okay casting-wise. I like what they did with the look and everything. And you know what? Ending the trilogy there, it wasn't a bad way to end it. So that's my 2 cents on Spider-Man 3.
Oh wow, no, everything about that movie that was bad. It begins and ends when Ben Affleck came in. No, I'm just joking. No, the thing that was the first evidence of Sony. What was it? Who made that movie? That was Sony, right?
Sony,
that was the first evidence of Sony. What we know today after all the hacking and the emails and all that stuff and how they totally screwed the pooch on a lot of things. That was the first evidence of them just. And getting too involved and trying to force a bunch of things down our throats, because I think if I remember correctly, Raimi didn't want to use Venom at all or whatnot, and they forced it because they knew the fans were going to love it. So that was the first problem, and then I don't know. No, you're totally wrong. You're totally wrong in my opinion about everything that you listed that you liked about it. I would suggest go back, watch it again. No interruptions. I mean, I want you to put the tape and just keep those eyelids on and open and just really watch him dance. That emo scene, just really watch him do that little flick. I mean, I'm bald, I can't do it, but that little flick of the hair. Like, what's your problem, Peter? You're the problem. Like, watch that again. Really watch it. Oh man, Anthony, what do you think?
Well, I will defend Michael on saying that I thought Venom was also good in this one. I thought Topher Grace, I didn't really have a problem with his performance. I think he kind of takes a bad rap because his whole story angle wasn't very well developed and it wasn't very well written. But I thought the CGI look and the way they designed him was, I thought, very well done. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I also agree. I thought the Sandman's character was horribly written, but he led to some good special effects and some good action. But yeah, Spider-Man was good in this movie, but Tobey Maguire was the worst thing about it. You take his scenes out of there and just have Spider-Man without having to see Tobey Maguire dancing on that table or walking down the street. It kind of kills it. But, yeah, I thought it had some good action moments. I actually could go back and watch the last 30 minutes of that movie all the time.
Yeah, the fight was pretty good, but no, the whole changing the history of how Uncle Ben died was what killed it. But what do you think, Al? What do you think about that movie?
I agree with what most have said about it. I am upset that they kind of veered from the Uncle Ben story. I am extremely mad at seeing Tobey Maguire doing that whole dance scene as he's walking down the street. That was upsetting enough. I actually like the Sandman in this movie. I do think that Anthony's right. I do think that his kind of storyline was not that good, but I kind of liked him in this movie. I liked him actually better than I did Venom in this movie. Though I will say I was happy to see Venom. So I would be one of the fans that really wanted to see him on the big screen. So I was excited about that. So I really agree with everyone else's thoughts about Spider-Man 3. So.
And I'm surprised that nobody's brought it up already, and that would be Blade Trinity. That's the movie that the reason why I thought it was fun was because, okay, we was going to get another Blade movie. It was coming right off of Blade 2, which was awesome. It was a horror movie. That wasn't just a comic. It was a horror. I feel like it was a horror movie first, comic book second, movie second. And then part 3 was just, I don't know what I was watching. Dracula, who was played by, what's his name? Dominic Purcell. Yeah, and that wasn't Dracula. You had Triple H, who everybody thought was going to be the thing that was going to be the worst thing about that movie. I actually thought Triple H did a decent job. That whole going back and forth with Ryan Reynolds on there was funny. Like that whole, when did you see my dick line was kind of funny. The fact that he had a little, my fault, he had a little dog. I'm gonna use Sonic as an example. That dog deal was hilarious. But that movie as a whole, the whole plot was just weird. I mean, I don't know. It had so much promise with the fact that humans now knew who Blade was and calling all that attention out. I thought that was a good setup, but the delivery just fell short. I can't say enough bad things about that movie. What do you think, Michael?
A guilty pleasure movie for me. Blade Trinity is actually probably out of the 3 the one I would rewatch the most because it is not the best. It is not the best out of the 3 in terms of filmmaking and film quality and whatnot, but it is the most entertaining for me. That one scene with Ryan Reynolds calling that woman, the Thunder Cunt, is the best scene in any Blade movie ever. So that's all I got to say about Blade Trinity.
That's true. What do you think, Anthony? What do you think about what Mike just inappropriately? This is children's programming, buddy.
I'm so sorry. PG.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it too. It's a guilty pleasure movie. I think Ryan Reynolds really added a good element to this. I enjoyed that scene with Blade and Jessica Biel, and Ryan Reynolds in the building there with the hallways and all the the bow and arrow. I thought it had some good action in it until you get towards the third act. I thought it kind of tapered off. You can kind of watch the first 2/3 of that movie and shut off at 20 minutes before it's over, and that would be the best edition of it.
What do you think? Why do you think this is the best Wesley Snipes movie of all time, Al?
I don't, because I haven't seen it, Chris. So, you know what? I was not a big fan of the Blade series, and after Blade 1, which I thought was okay, I didn't have really any interest in seeing the others, so I didn't see Blade Trinity.
And you didn't see Blade 2?
Nope. I got nothing.
Okay. The rest of us guys, we're gonna have to get together and talk about Al. What's going on with Al? No, I get it. I understand. It's just not for everybody. But all right.
So let's talk about Elektra, which I rewatched Elektra today, and it's you know what, Elektra is it's pretty bad. But one of the things I was impressed with Elektra about was were the special effects. I thought that the special effects were pretty good, especially for that movie, given when it came out. I mean, it's nowhere near where we are today in terms of what we can do with special effects. So I thought, I like that, and I was interested in just kind of seeing what they were going to do with that spin-off movie after she gets killed in Daredevil. So I thought they did a pretty good job of picking up her story. And I will say now, and maybe, I don't know if this is fair or not, but I enjoyed it a bit more, especially after having kind of the background knowledge of the Hand and all of that from the Daredevil series that was on Netflix. It really just kind of heightened my enjoyment for Elektra. But I thought that she did a good job. I like Jennifer Garner in that role. I'd actually like to see her in more superhero roles as well, because I thought that she performed pretty well there. And I just thought overall the entertainment value of it was pretty good. It's not as smart as some of the movies we have for today, but when it came out, I thought Elektra was pretty good.
Anthony, what you think?
Sorry, Al, but I didn't really enjoy this one too much. Jennifer Garner wasn't doing it for me. She had her moments. She really was killing it with some of them facial expressions. I went back and actually kind of clipped her. I have this movie on Blu-ray for some reason, but I went back and clipped it as part of doing any good investigative work. I went back and I clipped it. She had some moments where it felt overacted. I don't know. It definitely had some good action parts in it, and I think the story just kind of got a little bit too routine for me. But that's pretty much it.
Oh, Michael, defend your woman, Jennifer Garner. Defend her now.
Actually, I like Jennifer Garner in the movie. Is it a good movie? Probably not, but it's an enjoyable one. I have a lot of fun watching it, and it's not horrible. I mean, to some it may be. It depends who you ask, but it's a fun movie. It's definitely an easy watch. I can just pop it on and just enjoy it.
I'll go ahead.
Just to follow up. So I don't know. I think it's bad in terms of just the whole scope of everything. If you looked at it in its totality, it's not a good movie. But there are some parts that make it really enjoyable. So
I agree.
Right. So I'll tell you one of those scenes. The reason why I feel like it's a great movie. I feel like it was trying to be like what I guess Burton kind of captured with the first Batman movie. I feel like that's where it was the direction it was trying to go for. And what Netflix has done perfectly as far as how dark he is and believable he can be, if that makes sense. It's kind of crazy how Netflix is making these characters so enjoyable. But I think the only thing that makes that movie drop the ball, because I love the casting for the Kingpin. I liked Bullseye's. I like Farrell's casting for Bullseye. Gardner was okay when she was fighting, but when like you said, the dialogue was the problem mostly. But the thing that kills it, and the thing that if you take out of this movie, you guys have probably heard this before, but you take that seesaw fight scene out of that movie, to me, it's awesome movie. That's the one scene that totally was like, what movie am I watching now? It was the one scene in the movie that told me that I was totally watching a whole different movie where you got the kids cheering them on, like yeah, kick that woman's ass. I'm like, what am I watching here? So I don't know. That's what I felt was the problem with that movie. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents. So who's next? What's the next movie? Michael, what's your third movie, right?
Yeah, my third movie. So wait, first I'd like to say something. Chris, I think you're thinking of the wrong movie there, buddy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you blended Daredevil and Kingpin together, Daredevil and Elektra together.
Yeah.
Oh, Elektra. Oh, we were talking about Daredevil, right? We're talking about Elektra.
No.
Oh man,
Yeah.
what? That movie was so. Oh, now I realize what I did. No, you know what? And I'm not gonna edit it out. That movie was awesome. Daredevil was awesome. No, I'm not editing that out. No, you know why? You know what? Oh my God, Elektra was so bad. I went back to Daredevil, and I'm keeping it in this video. That's how bad Elektra was. Okay,
Fair enough.
10 seconds, guys. Here we go. 10 seconds. Here we go. Elektra was not bad. It was so bad, I can't even think of any scenes from it. I had to go to Daredevil. There you go. Saved it.
Fair enough.
What's the next movie?
Daredevil from 2003. So, yeah, it's not a good movie. It definitely has some flaws. I don't think Ben Affleck was a very good Murdoch, but I think he was a pretty good Daredevil. The villains were the best part of this movie to me. I thought Colin Farrell was awesome. Michael Duncan Clark was awesome. I kind of liked some of the effects they did with his vision. And yeah, that park scene with on the teeter-totter or whatever it is, there was some terrible action in it in the beginning, some terrible scenes, but it really does redeem itself late. And I thought, Farrell and Duncan Clark's performances saved this one.
And I thought it was a really cool movie. Ben Affleck, like you said, is probably the weakest part of that film, but Colin Farrell as Bullseye, so cool. The scene with the old lady on the airplane you can't forget that scene. Really cool movie. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Right on. Now, I've already said all I'm going to say about this movie. I'm not going to go there again because I might accidentally start talking about Ghostbusters or something like that. So I'm just going to say I agree with everybody else, and I agree with myself when I was talking about Elektra. So I guess, Al, what's the next movie you have on yours?
Okay. Daredevil is on my list too, the same one.
Why is everybody hating on Daredevil?
I thought that almost every part of Daredevil was bad, except you're right. For when we saw Daredevil, I do think that the Colin Farrell was actually okay as Bullseye. Hated Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin. I mean, oh my gosh, it was so like the scene where I think Daredevil like breaks his legs and he's just like laughing. I'm gonna get you. I said, oh my gosh, somebody please help me. It was that bad. But I do think there were some fun parts about it, but I just think overall it wasn't very entertaining. I do think that Affleck was not a good choice for Daredevil as well. I just don't think he was able to pull it off. But I do agree with Anthony. Visually, it was cool how we kind of saw how he saw in different ways, especially when it was raining, how they did kind of the silhouettes with the rain and all that good stuff. But on the whole, man, I think I could have got a camcorder and done a better job.
Ooh, shots fired. What do you think, Anthony? Is he right about Michael Clark Duncan?
Oh, this was my movie.
Oh, yes, right. I'll edit that part out. But the question still stands. You got to defend your choice.
Yeah,
is he right about the cast?
Yeah, I mean, I liked Michael Clark Duncan in that one. He was, way over the top, and yeah, he kind of overacted a little bit here and there. But I thought it was a fun addition to the movie. It was the best parts of the movie. The bad guys in that one for me.
A little bit.
What about?
Maybe a little bit more than.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I got to disagree with the whole Michael Clark Duncan thing. I thought he was one of the best things about that movie. I didn't find it troubling at all when he was cast. I felt like as far as all the choices were, as far as a decent actor and size, appearance ability, he was one of the few choices that were out there, unless you just went with a total unknown. But then I just felt like the whole did he break his legs or did he just kick the hell out of the back of them or something? I don't know. Did those knees blow out in the front or something? But I don't know. I have to double check. But I feel like that his delivery, especially when he chose to fight Daredevil 1-on-1, even though he could have just probably just had him shot or tried at the end. He was proving like, we're from the Bronx, we're going to handle it the way we handled it in the street, while in this big penthouse, all glass, high rise. And I thought, I don't know, I felt like maybe that fight scene should have happened somewhere else, but I guess it had to work that way because of the whole water thing. You're right. And the one thing I think Netflix did probably take from that movie was how they mimicked how Ben Affleck's Daredevil saw the world, because it was different colors and they explained it differently, but the whole concept of it, the world on fire versus the whole world on water, where Ben Affleck could see it, I thought that, I don't know, I feel like that was a nod to Ben Affleck's, but I might be totally wrong.
Amazing Spider-Man, the first Amazing Spider-Man movie with Andrew Garfield. Not a horrible movie, I would say the parts when he's Spider-Man are actually my least favorite parts about that movie. I would say the whole Peter Parker aspect of the film is very good. I kind of like what they did with Uncle Ben, and I like Aunt May in that movie, played by Sally Field. Even the Lizard isn't too bad. Where it kind of loses it for me is the next movie, Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is just a mess of a film. But this one isn't so bad in setting up the universe. I just wish they were able to capitalize on it in the sequel.
Right, I think you're right. It's right on as far as the fun part of it. To me, it was fun. I feel like I had more fun with I had more fun with the original Spider-Man movie than or Spider-Man 2 than I did with any of the other ones. I have a feeling that I'm going to have more fun with Homecoming, and that's going to take I'm hoping, at least I'm keeping my fingers crossed on it. But I agree with you. Him as Peter Parker was, to me, was better than what Toby did. But at the same time, it's not a little not fair, because Toby's Peter Parker was that Peter Parker from the older comic books, and they were trying to make this Peter Parker a more hip kind of he's still kind of a geek, I guess, but he was more of the cool geeks. Like now being a geek is in now. We were all being picked on back when we were in high school and stuff about reading these comic books, and now everybody's like, I wonder when the next X-Men is coming out. I was like, well, where were you when you were kicking my ass in school about reading X-Men? But so yeah, I thought it was fun. I think the Lizard was good. I thought you were going to say Amazing Spider-Man 2 before this one, but maybe you didn't have fun with that one. So
I did not at all.
What do you think about the Amazing Spider-Man, Michael? I'm sorry, Al.
I actually like the Amazing Spider-Man because I like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I thought it was good. I really liked the Lizard in that edition of Spider-Man as well. I really don't have many bad things to say about it. I'm surprised that it got the response that he did, because I really like him as Spider-Man, so I thought it was pretty good.
Awesome. Anthony, what do you think about the Amazing Spider-Man? Why is Michael just wrong?
I don't know. I had to agree with him. I actually enjoyed this one. I think this was the best Spider-Man movie since probably Spider-Man 1, maybe Spider-Man 2. I enjoyed it. I thought Garfield did a good run. He was a little too cool and a little too, I don't know, he didn't really capture that Peter Parker the way I would have liked to have seen, the way I don't think he didn't do it all the way I think Tom Holland is going to do in these new Spider-Man movies. But it was fun. The story kept a nice pace with it. The second one was where the story really kiltered off for me. It got very just repetitive, but this one really kept the pace moving. I don't know who the actor was that played the Lizard, but he was really good. I liked the development of that, and I thought the action was pretty good. So I didn't really have any problems with this movie. I could sit down and watch it. It's a good time.
Men in Black. And at first I wasn't going to put this on because I thought, wait a minute, a comic book movie. I forgot that this was based on a comic book. I don't know why I thought this was an original. When is the last time we seen anything original, right? With that much of a budget from Warner Brothers. But I did the research, and it was like, so this is a comic movie, so I had to put it on because I had a lot of fun with it. I had a great time with the dynamic between Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, not James Earl Jones, is what I said early. And then the parts that killed me was, I guess, how they spoiled the ending on the trailer. When you watch the movie trailer and that whole thing with the ship coming down, I mean, they pretty much showed how the movie ends, and I feel like it was bad because in comparison to I don't know, when it was I didn't know if it was trying to be a sci-fi adventure, if it was just trying to make Will Smith, like the whole this looks good thing, if it was just trying to push the legend of Will Smith. I couldn't tell what I was really watching. Is this a let's let's make Will Smith awesome film, or is this a Men in Black film? So that's the reason why I had to throw this on the list, because it was just, I don't know, I guess the nostalgia wore off. What do you think about Men in Black? And I'm going to go to Michael.
I really like Men in Black. I think it's a fun movie. The sequels kind of go off the rails a little bit, but the first one I find very fun, very enjoyable. I wasn't around when the trailer came out, so I don't know anything about it spoiling the ending or whatnot, but all in all, I find the chemistry between the two leads very good, and it was an okay movie. It's very enjoyable.
Anthony.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I thought this was a fun movie. It gave us the song of the summer in 1997. I mean, come on. I mean, how could you pass that up? I thought they had great chemistry with Tommy Lee Jones. He was awesome as that character, kind of gruff, and the two opposite personalities clashing together. It was a fun movie. It kind of felt unique, and it was fresh, and yeah, I enjoyed it.
Al.
The same thing, man. I really liked it. I thought that it was fun, and I did feel like it was a unique take kind of on an aliens movie. I thought that Tommy Lee and Will Smith were great with each other. I did like the chemistry that they had, and I don't even like Will Smith, so just have to throw that in there. But I really thought it was a good time. Like, that's a movie to me that has rewatch value just because there are some moments that are that laughable. So I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, maybe I'm throwing the first one under the bus because of what it spawned later on. Maybe I'll just say MIBs as a collective body instead of just the first one, because I will admit that I like the first one better than any of the others. But it's just, looking back at it now, I have no interest in watching any of them anymore. Even if I caught it for free on TV, if it was just happened to be played, I would just change the channel, and that goes for all of them. For some weird reason.
On my list is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 2014.
Oh, wow. And we have no more time for Anthony. No, I was just joking.
I don't really see what the problem was with this one. I remember the cartoon. This was kind of, after Ninja Turtles was over, I didn't really step into the Power Rangers. I kind of started going outside, playing sports and all that. But Ninja Turtles is where it ended. I remembered the banter with the characters. I was excited to see this one. And I thought it was a good time. It had way too much Megan Fox in it as April O'Neil. I thought she was way too dominant in the story. But I thought the CGI and all the special effects, the action sequences were great. I thought that same lovable chemistry between all the characters was still there. And I thought I really enjoyed the new revamped look of all the characters as well. And, I was kind of surprised when, a lot of people didn't like this movie, because I went and saw it with a group of people and we all had a great time watching it. But, apparently the reviews came out after it.
Oh, awesome. Okay, I thought you were going the other way, so you enjoyed it. That's right on. Perfect. What do you think, Mike? What do you think about the Turtles, Mike?
I really grew up with the Ninja Turtles because the 2000 show that came out, the 2000 cartoon on Nickelodeon that came out, and this movie to me is a very cool idea. There's some cool action scenes in it. Distinctly the one in the snow. I remember with the shell hitting the Jeep. That was pretty cool. A lot of the CGI was good, but it didn't do it for me, man. I hated the look of the Turtles, and like you said, Megan Fox took away a lot from the movie. And Will Arnett is so annoying in this movie. But there's some cool action scenes, but other than that, I really didn't like where they went with it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that everything that was good about this movie was, I don't know, you know what, that whole elevator ride scene up to the top.
That was another good scene. Yeah.
That tripped me out. I didn't see it coming, and I didn't see me tapping my foot and and singing along coming, but that happened. Little pet peeves, like why the turtles are so big. I mean, they're not going to fit into a sewer. I couldn't understand why they had to be so over exaggerated. But then when we got into the whole dialogue and learning about their personalities, I started enjoying it. But then when the Michael Bayism started really hitting with Megan Fox, after being panned about it so hard on Transformers, he did it again with the Turtles with her. I was like, come on, what's going on there? We'll speculate later. What do you think, Al? So I mean, we're coming from an old school of really, really growing up with the Ninja Turtles, but I understand what Michael was saying. But what do you think about the movie?
So again, you know what? I got nothing. I had absolutely zero desire to see this movie, and even after the trailers, it was just not something I wanted to see. I do agree with Michael in that I did not like that the way that the turtles looked. They almost looked like claymation to me for some reason.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was taking a nap when folks were at the theater, but I certainly wasn't there watching it. So
I just thought that was funny when Michael said that he grew up with the Turtles, like from the 2000s. I'm like, dude, you missed like 2 decades, like that. But that's me dating myself. I'm a carbon fossil, but jealous. So that was funny. A weird pick because I mean, not many people knew or know that this was a movie based on a comic book. I, for hell, surely didn't. I thought it was an original story, but the title isn't, at least. So I don't know if Weird Science, the movie that we saw in the 80s, was based on one of those comic books that was back in the 50s in the golden era of comic books. But when I learned that that Weird Science was a comic book, it was a comic book from back in the day, it blew my mind because I love this movie, and this is kind of a cheat. I mean, this is bad superhero films that we had fun with. Now, I did nothing but have fun with this movie. I don't consider it a bad movie, but when I put in the frame of it being a comic book, I guess what I was doing was I was basing it on comic book movies that we're seeing today. So as a comic book film, I was like, yeah, it was like it had supernatural stuff happening and whatnot. I mean, but they hardly left. They didn't go any further past from their house to the mall, so nothing really big, happened except for in those 2 locations. But it was a great movie that you had nothing but fun with. You mean this was Iron Man? I want to say in my mind that this was Tony Stark when he was in school being a dick. So that's why I link it to the Marvel Cinematic Universe overall, because that was Iron Man just being a total jerk. Man. He was a bully. Michael, what's his name? Michael C. Oh, I'm gonna butcher the name. Anthony Michael Hall. That I feel like he was. I feel like he should be bigger than what he is right now. He's an awesome actor. And I like everything that I've seen in his body of work. But I enjoyed that movie tremendously. Of course, for the obvious reason, the hot lady on there. Everybody who else hasn't tried to grab one of your sisters or cousins' Barbie dolls and try to make that scenario happen. I know I did, but unless I'm all alone. What do you guys think about Weird Science? Should this even be on the list? What do you think, Al?
I mean, I like Weird Science. It's funny when that took me back when you mentioned that title and this interest. I had no idea that it was a comic book, but I enjoyed Weird Science. I thought that it was interesting, and just conceptually it was new. I'd never seen anything like it, so I thought Weird Science was a good time. Awesome. Yeah, I really liked the movie.
What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, I loved it as well. It's one of those 80s classics. Kelly O'Brock was just gorgeous from head to toe. She had a great chemistry with them guys. She had that like snarky kind of personality with them kids, and like you said, Anthony Michael Hall is just a classic, and the late great Bill Paxton in there as the older brother.
Right, Chet. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, awesome moments as well.
And didn't she have an accent too? I remember her having an accent.
Yeah, she was British, I believe, is British in real life. I don't know, or was that just an act? Have you seen Weird Science? Have you seen Weird Science, Michael?
I'm about to let everybody down. I have not seen Weird Science. I've heard nothing but good things about it, but I gotta go check it out after hearing you guys rave about it.
Yeah. You gotta go watch it before they remake it.
Exactly.
Yeah, seriously.
This is think of it as a prequel to Iron Man. I'm telling you, it works. Michael, what you got next on your list?
All right, so my final film is going to be Man of Steel from 2013, I believe this movie came out. And this movie got panned by, like, everybody. And I really don't see it. I mean, the action scenes at the end are a little bit repetitive, but Henry Cavill as Superman, I loved it. Amy Adams was okay in the film. Lawrence Fishburne was pretty good. All in all, a pretty cool movie. And I have to say, like, this is one of the first movies that I felt super duper emotionally invested in there, especially Pa Kent, played by Kevin Costner. All in all, just an awesome flick, man.
Right on. I think that for me, Man of Steel was the best of what they have in the DC EU. I don't know why it was so. I mean, even though we got Batman versus Superman, which in your mind is like awesome just in the title alone, but of course on how it was received, and it was, I mean, I understand, but when you put back what was taken out, I for the extended version, I then give Batman vs Superman the edge. But as far as character development, the whole the struggle with Clark and Kal-El, trying to, should I listen to my birth father, should I listen to my earth father thing. I thought that was brilliant stuff. Everything else that I didn't like about that movie was just little pet peeves. Like I thought that the end with him fighting that machine, and I thought that lasted a little too long or wasn't necessary. They could have cut that out. Little stuff like that. But overall, I love that movie. What do you think about Man of Steel, Al? What do you think about Man of Steel with Henry Cavill?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I thought it was really good too, and I like the feel and the tone of Man of Steel. I don't know why it got such a bad rating either, and I just kind of like how they developed the story. I do like Kevin Costner as the father. I thought that whole movie was really good. Like, that's one that I have on DVD, and that to me has rewatch value as well. I have nothing bad to say about it. I thought it was actually really good. So
exactly. What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, I have to agree. I also really enjoy this movie. I think it's the best Superman movie since the first one.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought Michael Shannon as General Zod was awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of people were complaining about the unneeded violence towards the end, but I thought it was worked. When you think about the story and where Superman's at as a character at that point, it's bound to happen. I thought it worked in there well. It's kind of like his first real, mano-a-mano showdown. And yeah, I thought it's also the best movie that DC's put out recently too.
Exactly. And I mean, I think after coming off of Superman Returns, since they were really trying to tap into the whole Christopher Reeves thing, I think that was one thing that people loved about Superman Returns. And then when Henry Cavill didn't do that at all, I think maybe that was most of the reason why everybody who hated it, hated on it. But now with all these new DC movies coming out after the fact, I think people are going to start coming back to Man of Steel. And I think the time will tell. But who knows? I don't know why it was so badly received, but that's it. I think we finally masterminded this whole thing. This was fun for me, guys. I mean, I can't believe how many times I referenced Daredevil when I wasn't supposed to, and I can't wait to do that again. But it was a good time. So I'm gonna go back around the board, and let's tell everybody where we can be found, and tell everybody what you do and on your channel and how you do it.
All right, you guys can find me at Farside Movie Reviews, and I have a movie review channel. I've really been getting into the AMC series Into the Badlands, so if you guys are interested in that, check the channel out because we're really digging deep into that. But we just have a lot of fun there. I try and get on there and give my thoughts on movies, so I'll see you there.
The silver screen analyst himself, Anthony.
Yeah, you can reach me at Silver Screen Analysis on YouTube. I do tons of just regular movie reviews, top 5 and 10 lists, throwback reviews, just anything movie related. You can reach me on Twitter at Your Cinema Guy. I had a great time doing this first episode of Movie Minds, and I'm looking forward to doing more episodes of it.
Looking forward to doing it right the next time. I understand. I got the joke. Thanks for the burn. No, I'm just joking. Well, Michael, man. Once again, my T3 Media's brother, man, where can people find you?
You can find me on my channel, Michael Chu. I do movie reviews primarily, but lately I have started a new series, Chew on This, where I do interviews with fellow movie reviewers or like-minded people who enjoy all forms of entertainment, so you should go check that out. And follow me on Twitter, Facebook, all Michael Chu for real.
Outstanding. Yep, you are kicking butt, man. And Al, I'm loving that series that you're looking at. You're convincing me to check that out, so I'm going to do that. And you can find me on T3 Medias, guys. I had a blast. I'm loving this Movie Minds thing. This panel has got to grow. So if you guys out there, reach out to Anthony, reach out to Al, reach out to Michael, reach out to me. Let us know if you're interested in joining the panel of panelists here on Movie Minds. This is something special, and I can't wait to knock out the next one. But you can check us out on T3 Medias. We talk movies on podcast and blog as well as on YouTube. You can always catch me on Twitter. That's the Chris Fagan on Twitter, and you can also catch me on Facebook. I'm all over the place. I'm all around the world. I'm probably in your house right now. You don't even realize it. Until next time, peace.